And welcome back to the Kevin Wright Show. This is a super quick movie review for Toy Story 4. The story of Toy Story 4 is pretty basic. Woody no longer with Andy, as you guys know from the Toy Story trilogy, but Woody and the rest of the toys are with their new owner. And the family decides to go on a road trip. And during the road trip, they have to take care of the young girl who is their new owner, who they belong to. And they're covering for her feelings as she's getting ready for kindergarten and going into school. And they're trying to take care of her and love her, as is the role of a toy throughout the Toy Story series. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I think you should see Toy Story 4 and some things to think about. Number 1, the animation. In the era of like this Pixar 3D animation, where we've gone away from 2D traditional Disney animation, we're kind of into the era of 3D animation. It's hit and miss sometimes. It's hit and miss sometimes what you see out there. But this movie is pristine. I would say not only is this the best 3D animation we've ever seen in Pixar, we've ever seen in Disney, we've ever seen, period, but this is some of the best animation across the board. There are scenes in this movie where you start thinking, is this a real photograph? Is this a real backdrop? The animation is so crisp and so clean and so lifelike, and yet it still has that charm that you know it's a cartoon. This is shocking. There are times where I'm sitting in the movie watching the animation and I was just astounded. We are watching something that I think is not being talked about a lot, but is one of the most beautiful movies ever shot. It's shocking, the texture. What they're able to do right now in animation is amazing, and Toy Story 4 is, in my opinion, the greatest single example of pristine animation in movie history. My number 2 reason to go see Toy Story 4 is this is a movie all about Woody. This really is Woody's movie, and we get to see all of Tom Hanks' skill as a voice actor and as an actor on display. Toy Story has always been told through the eyes of Woody, and he represents us as the viewer. And he's constantly processing all of the feelings of nostalgia that we process when we watch the Toy Story movies. What did our toys mean to us? What did it mean to be a child? What's it like to be thinking and expanding your vision and your mind, but also knowing that you're limited because you're a kid. This movie really is a tribute to Woody. I'm reminded a lot of Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame wasn't as good as Avengers Infinity War, but it was special because it was a tribute to all of the Marvel Universe. It was a flashback to all the characters, and we got to spend time with all of them and see their stories kind of retold again a little bit. That's what I loved about Endgame. The same thing happens here in Toy Story 4. This is a reliving of Woody's story. What he's gone through from the beginning. We're reminded of his time with Andy. We're reminded of his time with his new owner. We're reminded of the things that he's gone through in bonding with his friends, his romance, his lost loves, all the heartbreaks. We get to see a retrospective of Woody's character, and for that reason, this movie is worth the admission price alone. Third reason I think you need to run in and see Toy Story 4 is because this movie deals with the concept of being lost. That's really the central theme in Toy Story 4. How good is that? How important is that? I could watch stories based on that all the time because we all feel lost. We all at times feel like we don't know what we're doing in this world. Why are we here? What's my purpose? What am I good at? What am I not good at? Who am I supposed to be with? Who am I supposed to love? That's why this movie is so relatable. It's the journey of somebody who we know and love, who just feels like they're in the wrong place, who feels like they're lost, who feels like they don't know what to do with their life. And that's something we can relate to, and I want to see that journey told over and over again. I will say this, it has the best animation of all the Toy Story films. That is a huge thing, a huge accomplishment. And it also has the best ending. Not only is this the greatest ending of all the Toy Story movies, the ending in Toy Story 4 is probably my favorite of all Pixar films. The way this movie comes to a crescendo and a climax in the last 15 minutes, and especially the last 5 minutes, is so beautiful and touching and perfect and well done and heartbreaking and funny. I would say this ending is phenomenal, and stick around because there's a bunch of mid-credit scenes that are really fun and really helpful. As I rank all 4 Toy Story movies, I look at it like number 3 is the top. Number 1 is my second favorite, number 4 is my third, and number 2 is my fourth favorite. I recommend Toy Story 4. Go see it as soon as you can.